Dr. Bonifacio Bonigarcia will introduce the guest of speaker, Dr. Garcia.
Thank you. Well, I get to do something really fun now. I get to introduce you to an icon, really, in our community, and an icon in the Mexican-American community, an icon in the Latino community, an icon in the movie industry, an icon in the philanthropic world. This is a person who's been on the cover of Time magazine, who's addressed the United Nations, who allowed us to confer an honorary degree on him. I looked at his Wikipedia site. It had only 2 of the 14 honorary degrees that he has, because he's had a long and storied career in the industry as a filmmaker, actor, writer, philanthropist, community activist, leader. Some people met him in his initial role in Zoot Suit as El Pachuco, which is the classic. In the Latino community, we loved him in the ride of. There are so many movies. There's another one called Selena, if you've heard of that one, and Jennifer Park, and this is the person who discovered Jennifer Park. He appeared in Miami Vice as Captain Castillo. He was Adama in Battlestar Galactica. Probably most memorably, he played Dr. Jaime Escalante in the movie Stand and Deliver. The thing about that movie, that probably is the most shown movie in the history of the world, because teachers have been showing that in their classrooms for the last 40 years, since 1985 or something like that. So in terms of having an impact on the future, this individual has, if anything, done that. In more recent times, he is, now you can see him on the Mayans. He's had a lot of roles. He was in Coco. He gives a lot of voiceovers. He's got a very famous voice. What you may not know is that he was State Farm's ambassador for, I don't know, decades, and so that's how people came to know him. I came to know him in terms of his community work, the work that he does for the community. And since 2014, he's been the founder and chair of, we call it now the Latino Film Institute, but it's the Youth Cinema Project and the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival. The thing about this individual, though, is how giving he is. And over the entire course of his career, people have come to him and asked him for things, and he's always said yes and offered himself and been there for folk without asking for a price. And so I give you one of the most beloved people in my community, Mr. Edward James Olmos. We are honored today because what we're doing is we are going to be conferring on him a doctorate, a master's, excuse me, not a master's, half of you guys master's, doctorate, a DAOM, doctorate in acupuncture and oriental medicine. And again, this is he is lifting us up by accepting this for us, just as we are acknowledging decades, a whole lifetime of service to the community. And so we're going to confer a degree, we're going to put a hood on him. Here we go. Get this out of my face. There we go. Hey, this is kind of cool. Here, like this?
Yes. No, yeah.
All right. I get the world's experts on this. Here we go. Yeah, fantastic. And then all right. then, on behalf of the trustees, faculty, administration, and you, the students of South Baylor University, it's my greatest privilege and honor to confer on you Doctor of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine, Mr. Edward James Olmos. Thank you so much.
Muchísimas gracias. Es un honor y un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Todos ustedes que me están entendiendo ahorita, por favor, levanten la mano. For those of you that are Spanish impaired, I'm sure that you are able to speak more than one language. I am so overwhelmed by this. I've received honorary doctorates, but this one is different. I'm emotionally moved because at one point, I wouldn't be standing here the way I am today if it were not for your understanding of life. Acupuncture saved me a long time ago, in 1978. When I was doing, on Broadway, I was doing a play called Zoot Suit. And I must tell you that I was moved to pain, total pain, because of the positions that my body had to take. And I thought I wasn't ready for the positions. I thought I was trained for these. I'd danced my life. But I was using stomach muscles and back muscles that I'd never used before because of the positions that I would hit. And I would hold for hours continuously. So it came to a point where I couldn't perform. Literally, could not stand up. And immediately a friend of mine said, "We'll take care of this." And I said, "What, chiropractor? What are you talking about?" They went, they got an acupuncturist, beautiful, beautiful doctor. And he came over and he administered his medicine. He administered his understanding of life. And like, I could say that's a miracle, but it was. That's what happens when you administer what you have now learned and what they have taught you so well. I am overwhelmed to be here today. Because of that medicine, I continued my performance, and I received the Tony nomination for acting on Broadway in New York. But I must say to you, Dr. Park, co-founder, and your husband, South Baylor University, to me, represents the future. And you know it so well, and to all the administrators and to all of the teachers that have doctors that have advanced your careers and are advancing South Baylor University. I say to them, thank you. I say thank you very much so to your parents, to your loved ones that have gotten you here, have helped you understand your life. But I especially come to say thank you to you. Because in all that's going to be said today, and it's been said quite well by your president, Bonnie Garcia, by everyone that will stand up here, we give you our love and our thanks for committing yourself to discipline yourself, to be able to understand yourself to the full competence of yourself. You have moved yourself to a point, you've disciplined yourself to be able to understand the steps that it takes to administer and advance this incredible healing medicine that we have, that you've brought forth, that has taken thousands of years to get to this point. Western medicine cannot compete. Western science is phenomenal. I just went through cancer, and they got me through it, and I understand it, and they got rid of it, and I was very grateful for that. But the thousands of years that you represent, and the combination of understanding your craft, your discipline, your understanding of life, and that of Western medicine, acupuncture and herbal medicines with Western medicines is the future. There's no way. That's why universities all over this country and around the world are encompassing and now starting to teach it. But, and I say to you, you know that they're now, major universities in the world, USC, everyone, they're starting to teach this. But you have actually come to the most advanced university on acupuncture and herbal medicines in the country, if not in the world. I thank the Parks, her husband, and both of them for giving us the opportunity to have this kind of teaching at this level. You've done it. I say to you, I'm moved. I'm moved to tears because I learned one thing. The more you give, the more you receive. I've learned that, and I've learned it in spades. I would not be standing here, like I said, if I hadn't not given myself to my art form. But in the same way, I would not be standing here if you had not, your art form, your craft, your discipline had not touched me. It's an unbelievable feeling to be able to say to you that you have a huge responsibility now. Not only do you represent yourself and your studies and what you've learned, you represent your families, but you represent this university. You represent this medicine. You represent this science. You represent the future. Trust me when I tell you, you have no idea. This is going to grow much more than it has, especially here in the United States. It'll grow much more than we've ever anticipated. That's why I'm so grateful that Baylor exists. This university exists because they promote and bring about the most doctors, the most master's degrees, the most understanding and advancement of acupuncture and medicinal medicine in the country, if not in the world. So for me, it's an honor and a privilege to say to you, you're carrying something with you now. The knowledge that you carry with you has just started. Your president, Bonnie Garcia, said very clearly, you have now the ability to help others. That's the essence of it. Now, you may go into a very lucrative end of this and go into Beverly Hills or go find yourself a location that allows you to bask in all the beauties of life. Or you might head into the communities that need us the most. And I can only say that you can do both. You can do them both. You can actually advance yourself economically, and you can advance yourself spiritually and within yourself harmoniously. And to me, it's the essence of the unity between your doctorates, your masters, the teachings of the Baylor University, and Western medicine is truly a gift and the future of this planet. There's no two ways around it. Thousands of years it has taken for us to be able to say to you, this is how you do this. And it's been practiced over and over and over again. And to all of the people that are here, that have ever, the parents that are here, I hope that you realize that you have given a great gift to not only your children, but to our community. Our community will rise to a level that is much stronger than we could ever have been if it weren't for the harmonious understanding and the unity between these two types of teaching. See, because I'm like your worst nightmare, okay? I'm your worst nightmare because I happen to be African first, where I come from, my lineage is African first, Asian second, indigenous third, mixed with my Caucasianness, and that's what makes me brown. And I learned through this, all this, and I leave you with this. From my heart to your heart, remember, as you sit here, now as doctors and masters of acupuncture and Oriental medicine, I say to you, there's only one race. There's no Asian race. There's no Caucasian race. There's no African race. There's no Latino race. There's only no indigenous race. There's only one race, and that's the human race. Inside of the human race, there are incredible cultures. There are Korean cultures, there's Japanese cultures, there's Guatemalan cultures, there's Mexican cultures, there's Irish and English. You tell an Englishman that they look like an Irishman, and you're going to have a fight in your hands. You mistake a Mexican for Guatemalan. Oh, yeah. They'll tell you right away. No. You tell a Chinese person that they look Japanese, good luck. They're different, every single one. The cultures that we represent, all of us here today, are extraordinary. But don't ever forget that we, as a human body, are one. And you represent that. You represent that with the work that you're going to be doing with your life. I say to all of us, this is a bright day for humanity. And every graduating class and every person that's graduated from this school since 1977 is giving to this world a more hope than we've ever had. Because the culmination and the understanding of bringing together these medicines is overwhelming. And so I say to you, Dr. Park, thank you. Thank you for creating this educational system that allows us to pass all of this on, move it forward. It's breathtaking. And I know that you all know it. Every single one of you knows it. But you also know that it's not in everybody's consciousness. Most of us don't understand what I'm saying in the world outside of this place. And I say to you, you represent us. Go forth, become who you're going to become. Don't forget that you're just, like Bonnie said, you're just starting. This is, the wheel starts now. And all I can say is be patient with yourself. You've learned a discipline. You've learned determination. You've learned perseverance. And now the world's going to teach you patience. Patience in understanding yourself. You have to wait to get to 90. And every step you take towards that 90, I hope that you'll keep learning. That's all you can do. So I say to all of us, thank you, Bonnie, for bringing me here. Thank you for this great honor that you bestowed upon me. I can't thank you enough for this. And just know that the future lies in our hands. Our hands. And I say to you, I'm willing to give up myself to the community. And I have for over 50 years. Look, I'm 76. I know I look good, all right? But I am 76 years old. And I am an oldie but a goodie. And I say to you, bless your hearts. Thank you so much for what you've given to us. The hope that you're giving to us today is overwhelming. And I hope that you understand what you've done for all humanity. Like I said again, the unity between these medicines, the unity between these understandings, it's overwhelmingly needed, and it's a long time coming. Bless your hearts. Thank you all very much for coming today.
Thank you for your time again, Mr. Olmos. We are so grateful and appreciate for being the commencement ceremony speaker.